Hi everyone, and welcome to the Deck Wizard channel. If you haven't already, please check out my video for replacing your internal eMMC and NVMe drive from fresh. Today we're going to be setting up dual boot with SteamOS and Windows 10 on the Steam Deck, like you can see on screen now. The benefits to dual booting are many, and everyone has their own reasons for wanting to do this to their deck, such as being able to play Destiny 2, all your Xbox Game Pass games on Windows via the Apple Cloud, playing games that don't work on either OS, which won't be a problem when you have successfully dual booted and have both. To dual boot on the Steam Deck from fresh, you will ideally need 3 USB sticks that are 8GB or over. Alongside your 3 USB sticks, it is highly recommended that you have access to a USB keyboard mouse and USB-C adapter. Preferably one that charges your device at the same time is recommended. First is for SteamOS. If you already have it installed and aren't doing this from a fresh or formatted drive, then you may not need to do this, but for the purposes of this tutorial, I'll be covering that. The second memory stick is for G-parted, so we can access the drive in an isolated environment to resize and split our drive into 2 bootable operating systems. Both SteamOS and G-parted can be achieved through Rufus. Just use your USB stick and assign the ISO file and click Start. Once you have those 2 sticks all set up, the third is of course for Windows 10 itself, which I personally recommend you obtain via the Windows Creation tool. This is so you have the latest Windows 10 version from Microsoft, and there are no issues with the Xbox app or drivers, etc. To begin, we'll be plugging in our SteamOS bootable USB to our USB-C adapter and holding the volume down button on the Steam Deck, followed by pressing the power button once, while still holding volume down. As soon as you see the Deck logo, you can release and you'll see the Steam Deck Boot Manager. Here we want to select EFI USB device. I use the mouse in this instance to select, but the analog and face buttons work fine too. Now, once you've booted, don't worry if it's taking a long time. Depending how fast your USB sticks are, the screen can stay blank for 1 to 5 minutes before there is any indication of the recovery image loading. Eventually, the recovery will load onto a desktop, and here we want to select Re-image Steam Deck, the second choice at the top. We'll see a terminal command prompt window appear, and we want to select Proceed. And now, the NVMe in the Steam Deck will be re-imaged by the recovery USB, and SteamOS installed to the whole drive. So just sit back and let it do its thing. After 6 to 8 minutes, you will arrive at the Steam Deck initial setup. Select your language, time zone, enter your Wi-Fi details, once those are installed and the deck has rebooted, you can go ahead and sign into your Steam account and use your Steam Guard. Once you've logged in, you can see all the library as you would, and you can start downloading games. Over here in the storage settings, we can see the internal drive as the 256GB NVMe and decide what we want to split with Windows. So let's just check out the desktop quickly and shut down the system. Now, after the system is shut down, take your G-parted bootable USB and plug it into the USB-C adapter. Again, we're going to hold volume down and press power once to get into the Steam Deck boot menu. Then we'll be selecting our USB stick with G-parted installed. For this, you'll see the deck go portrait, and it really helps for the following steps to have your USB keyboard and mouse plugged in. We want to press enter on the first choice that is selected for us on the GNOME Partition editor. Afterwards, the screen will go back to landscape, and we want to choose the default option again, which says don't touch key map. Then it will ask us what language we prefer, and you have to type here the numbers as they appear for your choice. So for me, it would be 02 and enter. Some more text will appear, and we want to press 0 and enter. After a few moments, we will arrive in the most important part of this video, and you want to pay extra close attention to what I am doing here. So, we want to turn our deck portrait, and using our mouse, right click on this last partition on the list, which is 8 home, and click resize move. You know this is the right partition due to the size of it in gigabytes. This is where SteamOS is currently installed. Now you want to drag this bar, which represents the partition in gigabytes, to a level that you have given some thought for your own needs and requirements. In my instance, I'll be splitting it to just over 100 gigabytes for Windows 10 and close to 130 gigabytes for SteamOS on my 256 gigabyte drive. Now, we're not done yet because we have this unallocated space which needs to be given a file system and formatted. We'll right click on this partition, click New, and keep it as ext4 file system and add. Now the box will close and both tasks will be queued. So we click the green tick up here and press apply. Depending on the size of your drive, this should take less than a minute. Once it's done, you'll see your split drive ready for the next step. So we can exit out of G-parted and move on to installing Windows on the Steam Deck. But before we do that, let's boot the Steam Deck into SteamOS to see if our internal storage has been recognised. So from here, we can shut down the system and plug our Windows 10 USB into the USB-C adapter. As usual, hold volume down and press power. Go ahead and select your Windows 10 USB. After a few moments, Windows 10 will arrive and we want to press Next. I don't have a product key. Windows 10 Pro. Next. Accept. Next. Install Windows only. Now we will see a partition screen, but if we scroll down to the bottom, we will see the partition we just created. So we want to click on it and press delete. Make sure you click on the right size one we just made in gparted and not the SteamOS install on partition 8. Press OK to delete and then scroll down again. Click on our partition and press New. Apply the default size and press OK. Then press Next. You may or may not receive a message. We can just ignore and press OK. Now the installation of Windows will begin and we're almost there. Once the install has restarted, the deck will automatically arrive into the next stage of configuration of Windows, and just follow along what I press and type your username with the USB keyboard. Once all the choices have been made appropriate to your requirements, the deck will reboot one last time for the installation, and soon after the desktop will show. Now, to make sure everything is working, we want to shut down the system and unplug the USB sticks. hold volume down and press power to enter the boot menu, where we should see only Windows or Steam OS. So select Steam OS and you'll see everything loads as it should. And I'll just do this a few times to show how quick it can be to change between both OSs. It really is quite amazing. So now, on Windows 10, we want to quickly install all our drivers, which should be on a memory stick. These can be placed in a folder on the Windows 10 stick if you like, called drivers, or you can use a fourth USB stick if you have one. These all need to be installed so everything works as it should. First, we want to choose the Radeon drivers and install those by following these steps. Once that's done, we can choose the SD card driver folder and install that through the setup wizard. When it asks us if we want to restart, choose No and finish. Afterwards, we can install the Bluetooth drivers by just clicking this file called Install Driver, and after a few moments a box will appear and go away. You can go ahead and test out your Bluetooth devices straight away if you like. Such as your speaker, which Valve at the time of this video has not released the drivers for yet. Lastly, you want to go ahead and install the final driver, which is your Wi-Fi driver. Once those are all done, you can go ahead and enter your Wi-Fi password. And just briefly, if you want to take a quick look at this PC, you can see your local disk C drive as the partition you resized earlier. These two EFI partitions can be hidden later if you prefer. Once you're happy, you can shut down and boot back into SteamOS by holding volume down and pressing power once. And it really is just as easy as that. Now you have the best of both worlds in the palm of your hands and can start installing all your apps for each system and downloading games and software. I hope this video has helped a lot of people out with getting dual boot on their Steam Decks as easy as possible. If you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification to be made aware when I upload new gameplay and tutorials in the future. I also have Patreon and Ko-Fi down below, alongside a Twitter and Discord server where I frequent in case you need any help Steam Deck related. So now these last 15 minutes is footage of me scrolling through my Steam library and checking everything is working. If you have any requests for a game you'd like to see running on the deck, please let me know at any time, and I'll see you later.